Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Iti Namne Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyat Deshatarine नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरतुषे नमः पंचतत्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकम् हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधा कान्त नमोऽस्तुते जयतां सुरतौ पङ्गोर्मम मन्दमतिर्गति मत्सर्वस्वताम्भोजौ राधा मदनमोहनो तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Very happy to be with all of you this morning. I'll be happier if you all are able to turn on your videos because that'll really encourage me to speak Sri Chaitanya Leela, of which I'm no way qualified. But still, for my own purification, I have to do it. It's very important. Okay, so we were discussing, yesterday was our last class and we discussed from shloka number 32 to shloka number 42. Yes, so that is what we discussed. 41, I think. We need to do from 42. So Ramanand Rai and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we could see both of their humility. Yes, how a devotee of the Lord is humble, and even the Lord is very humble. So we saw the definition of humility as recognizing Lord's supremacy and accepting one's insignificance. That's what gives rise to this particular knowledge, gives rise to humility. So we could see that very wonderfully there. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Ramanand Rai comes there. He comes along with many brahmanas and other people. About 1,000 people come because he's a governor, right? At that particular point of time, there is a description. This is the last sloka where we ended yesterday, right? So he was mentioning that how the hearts of all those people who had darshan of Gauranga Mahaprabhu melted. Yes, heart melting. We have some experience of heart melting. Yes, heart melts usually when somebody does something very selflessly for us. Our heart melts. If somebody is very humble in front of us, very modest, our heart melts. So when we see some divine qualities, there is some divinity, or we see something heart touching, again, heart touching, that is the time heart melts. So there are different ways in which our heart melts, but this is a very spiritual phenomenon that's happened because everybody who got the darshan of Mahaprabhu, their hearts melted. And not just melting of heart, something more happened. Let's find out what is happening. Further effects of Lord's darshana. Krishna Krishna nama shuni sabara vadane sabara anga pulakita ashru nayane. Hare Krishna. So Ramanandra is saying, right now, I am only able to hear one word. What is that? Krishna, 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 Krishna. Everybody, Nama Shuni. I am hearing Krishna's names. From where? Where is Krishna's name is coming? Is there any radio station that is on? Or are there some loudspeakers which are bombarding Krishna's names? No. All the people who have assembled, Sabare Vadane, everyone's mouth, whoever took the darshan of Lord, everyone's mouth was something that was uttering Krishna, 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 Krishna. Sabara Anga Pulakita, and not only that, even their body was showing symptoms of ecstasy. Example, Pulakita, which means the hairs were standing on end. Ashru Nayane, and there were tears coming from the eyes. Yes, so this is the true melting of heart. So we understand the heart has melted when there is a description in the Srimad Bhagavatam Yes. So this particular description of Srimad Bhagavatam, this is 2:3:24. Tadasmasharam hridayam vatedam yadgrihyamane hariramadehe navikriyetat yada vikaro netre jalam gatra ruheshu harsha. Yes, hridaya vikar. What exactly? Heart melting. Yes, melting of the heart is mentioned here in this particular shloka. That what has happened is when somebody has taken the shelter of the holy name, there is tears flowing from the eyes and there is hair standing on the end. Exactly. Ruheshu harshaha. See? Tears in the eyes, ecstatic chanting. When you're chanting, hairs are standing on end, pulakita, and nayana ashru, ashru nayana. And this is actually nothing but signs of heart transformation. Heart has melted. Yes, heart has melted. Correct? So melting of heart has these symptoms. So we are able to see that the heart has melted. The effect of darshan has happened. So they were in ecstasy. And this is something that we pray in the Shikshashtakam every day. Nayanam galadashrudharaya vadanam gadgadaruddaya gira. That means these two things. Pulakir vichitam vapuhukada tavanama grihane bhavishyati. When you chant the holy name, this is what is supposed to happen. And we are every day praying, when will that happen? When will that day come? When I'll be chanting and we'll be experiencing the melting of heart. So with that anticipation and with begging for that mercy, we every day chant the holy name. That's the right attitude. Again, reminder to turn on videos. Those who have forgotten, I'm reminding them. Next, how to identify Supreme Lord. So Ramanand Rai was wanting to tell some of the symptoms that he's observing in Lord Chaitanya, which is giving him the further conviction that he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So these are very helpful for us because tomorrow if we meet somebody who claims to be Supreme Lord, he says very confident, "Main Bhagwan hu." Acha, you're Bhagwan? Well, let's see if you're qualifying in these particular symptoms of God. So how was he able to identify? Because of course, there's no doubt that he was very well read in the Shastra. Akritya prakritye tomar Ishvara lakshana jivena sambhave ei aprakrita guna. So here, Ramanand Rai, akritye prakritye, two things. There are two ways in which he identified who is Supreme Lord. Akriti. Akriti means what? Akriti means the form. The form of Lord. That's Akriti. And the second, Prakriti. Prakriti means what? Prabhupada translates Prakriti as behavior. The way Lord is dealing. Correct? His dealings. So Akriti, Prakriti. Tomar Ishwara Lakshan. And that is something that's proving that you are showing the characteristics of being the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Akriti and Prakriti. Jivena Sambhave. Oh, it is not possible for ordinary Jivatmas to have this kind of body or this kind of behavior. A aprakrita guna. This is something which is aprakrita, not prakrit means what? Prakrit means a function, something that's related to this material world. That's called prakrit. But what you're displaying is aprakrit. This is definitely transcendental. Is mentioning that. So let us see both. First, Prabhupada talks about the body, that is Akrita. Akrita means now there are even Mahapurushikas. I'll just show you some one PPT presentation. Yeah. I'd made a PPT on Jiva Goswami many years back. Yeah. So this particular PPT shows what is the symptoms, 32 symptoms of Mahapurusha. Correct? Pascha dirga pascha sukshma sapta rakta sadunnata trihash prutu gambhiro dvatrishmal lakshano mahan. Dvatrishmal. Trishmal means 30. Dvatrishmal means 30 plus 2. 32 lakshano mahan. So these are symptoms of what? These are symptoms of a Mahapurusha. Who is Mahapurush? They are the symptoms. So there are many things. One thing is, when he was born, his umbilical cord was the sacred thread, like a genu. Head is disproportionately big. Head is bigger than the body. Of course, they look beautiful, please. There are 5 large parts. The nose, arms, chin, eyes, and knees are large. There are 5 fine parts: skin, fingertips, teeth, hair on the body, hair on the head. They are fine parts. The 7 red parts: the eyes, not the eyes inside interior of the eyes, the sides. The sides of the eyes, like Jagannath. Soles, palms, palates, nails, upper and lower lips, they are reddish. The 6 raised parts are: chest is raised, broad chest, shoulders, nails, nose, waist, and mouth. There are 3 small parts: neck, thighs, and the male organ is small. There are 3 broad parts: the waist, the forehead is broad, and the chest. And there are 3 grave parts: the navel, voice, and existence. Voice is very grave, deep voice, and existence is also very grave. It means you cannot easily make out what they're up to. They maintain gravity. Their inner plans are maintained as secret. Yes, and the navel is also very grave. So these are like, when the child is born only we can see all these things. And if you see in the history of our Gaudiya Vaishnavism, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur and Jiva Goswami had all 32 on 32. Not all acharyas also have this 32. They may have some, maybe 30, maybe 25, 20, 10, 5 sometimes. Yes. But this Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur and Jiva Goswami, they had all 32 lakshanas. So they are usually called as Sarva Lakshana. Sarva Lakshana can refer to Supreme Lord. It can also refer to the acharyas having all these 32 symptoms. So like this, he studied the symptoms. But these symptoms are available even for Mahapurusha Acharya, but we need to understand one of the symptoms which is definitely going to prove that he is a Supreme Personality of Godhead: extraordinary limbs. Ajanata lambita bhujau kanakavadatav. Yes, lambita bhujau, where the hands are extending beyond the knees when you are standing, not sitting. While sitting, even for us, it is extending. We can also extend. Hey, Prabhu, what is big deal? I'm sitting. No, while standing. You're standing, the hands extend beyond the knees. So this is extraordinary large arms. This no Jiva can have. These 32 Jiva also can have. But the ones which Mahaprabhu had, extraordinary forearms and extraordinary measure of, if we said that the chest, yes, chest and forearms are of the same size, such a broad chest. This has to be Supreme Personality of Godhead. It cannot be anyone else. So arms, size of the chest, both are broad, so broad. So this is Supreme Lord. So he could observe that he had Mahapurush Lakshan, and also then there is Mahaprabhu Lakshan. The hand goes beyond the chest, then there is Mahaprabhu. Even if you see the 11th canto, Srimad Bhagavatam, 5th chapter, there are 3 shlokas. Vande Mahapurushate Charanarvindam. So that Mahapurush refers to Rama, Krishna, and also Chaitanya. Acharyas explain, they refer to all 3. So there is Mahapurush can be Jiva Goswami, Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur, Vishwanath Chakravarti, Ramanujacharya, Madhvacharya. All these acharyas, they have those 32, some of the 32 symptoms, or maybe all. But Mahaprabhu symptoms means what? Mahaprabhu is Supreme Lord. His arms are as big as his chest. First of all, he has large arms, and chest also is very broad. So seeing this, he could very easily understand that he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Of course, this is the, yes, Nyagrodha Parimandala. Yes, it is based on the bodily observation. Nyagrodha Parimandala. But what is more important is behavior also. If you look at Keshav Kashmiri, when he came for a debate with Nimai Pandit, and after he was defeated, then he was actually mourning, and he was telling Mother Saraswati, you told me that you will always be blessing me. What happened? He slept off. Then when Mother Saraswati came and revealed in her dreams that actually this personality to whom you have lost is my master, he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The whole purpose of human life actually is to go and surrender to him. And your success of your devotion to me, the culmination is actually you go and devote yourself to him. This is what my desire also was. And then when he goes there, he admits. Keshav Kashmiri says that actually my being a very learned Pandit, Digvijay Pandit, who has always never lost, my false ego was very big. And if you would have crushed my false ego, I would have committed suicide and died. But the way you dealt with me, the way you behaved with me, you behaved in such an amazing way that only Supreme Lord can behave like this. Yes, your behavior is proving that you're Supreme Lord. Yes, because only He can correct me. He can, as such, defeat me without actually crushing my ego. Otherwise, I would have died. I would have committed suicide. So, Prakriti of Lord is He is very kind to everyone. This is the main characteristics of Sri Gaurang Mahaprabhu. He is kind to everybody, kind to all. And he could observe that Gaurang Mahaprabhu has been kind to everybody in the South India Yatra. While coming to the South India Yatra, he kept giving everyone Krishna Prem. Correct? And why is he kind? Because he is the father. Aham bija pradapita. He is kind to all living entities. Just like a father. So Krishna's compassion is compared to that of a father. Yes, he is the original father. Bija pradapita. And that's why he is equal to all. Yeah. Now let us see what is Mahaprabhu's reply. Yes, this is very important. Because now Ramananda Rai glorified Mahaprabhu. He said, look at effect. You are Supreme Lord. And I can practically see the effect. Everyone's heart is melted. Everyone is crying. Everyone is hair standing on end. They're constantly chanting the name. That's the transformation of heart. Correct? And then he says that you are Supreme Lord. I can see by your Akriti and Prakriti, your Lord. Lord is what does Mahaprabhu reply? This is a typical gesture of Krishna. Krishna loves to give credit to his devotees. प्रभु कहे तुम्ही माघा भागवतोत्तम तुम्हारा दर्शन सबार द्रव हैला मन. Oh, it is not because of me. It is because of you. You are a Mahabhagavad. You are such a pure devotee of Lord that it is because of your association that all of their hearts have melted, not mine. So Lord immediately transferred his credit to his devotees. And Krishna does this time and again. This is one of the very natures of Krishna. He loves to give credit to his devotees. If Krishna wanted, he could have found Mother Sita. That Ram wanted, he could have found Mother Sita very easily. But he wanted that credit to go to Hanuman. If Lord Ram wanted, he could have definitely crossed, easily gone to Lanka and defeated Ravana and come. But he wanted to give credit to the Vanar Sena, Nal and Neel, for building that bridge. Yes, similarly, if Krishna wanted, he could have easily taken credit for killing Jarasandha, but no. He wanted Bhima to get the credit to kill Jarasandha. So he could have easily killed all the 64 crore soldiers on the battlefield of Kurukshetra in one shot. But Krishna wanted Arjuna to become the hero of Kurukshetra. So this has always been the nature of Lord to give credit to his devotees. And similarly, even some of the Prabhupada disciples, they told Prabhupada that if you see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu only preached in India, why didn't he preach all over the world? So Prabhupada said that work he wanted to leave it for us. He wanted us to get the credit for that work. And that's why he left. So, yeah, many times we see this. So how is giving credit? By telling that actually it is because of you. All of their hearts are melted. Now here purport is very important. Prabhupada's main theme of the purport is who can preach. Yes. So Prabhupada says unless one is a first class devotee, he cannot be a preacher. Then what are we, cheaters? I'm definitely not first class devotee. But then we can't preach till you become first class devotee. Some people have that particular philosophy also. Till the time your heart is completely pure, you cannot preach Krishna consciousness. You only should hear. Let's find out. Yeah. A preacher is generally a topmost devotee. But in order to meet the general populace, he must come to the distinguish between devotees and non-devotees. So what is being spoken here, first class devotee, is Uttam Bhagavat. Yes. Uttama Bhagavata. That is what Prabhupada says is a preacher. Uttam Bhagavat, Uttam Adhikari. Correct? Only he can preach. But Uttam Adhikari cannot understand difference between devotee and non-devotee. Why? Because Uttam Adhikari feels, oh, everybody is pure devotee of Krishna except me. So what do I do? Let me do my sadhana in a humble state of mind. So Trinadapi Shunichena Tarorapi Sahishna Manina Mandana Kirtane Sadhari. He just engages in bhajan. But when that Uttam Adhikari, in order to preach, that Uttam Adhikari comes down to the platform of Madhyam Adhikari. Because a Madhyamadikari has to distinguish Prema Maitri Kripopeksha Yakkaroti Samadhyama. He is able to distinguish between who is a devotee, who is a non-devotee. Yes, he is able to do that distinct. Sarva Bhuteshu Yap Pashet Bhagavad Bhavamatmanah Bhutani Bhagavatyatmani Esha Bhagavatottama. So such a Bhagavatottama he cannot preach. Why? Because although he is topmost preacher, he cannot preach. Because he thinks that everyone is a devotee. But the moment he becomes a Madhya, he comes down to the platform of Madhyamadikari in order to distinguish. Correct? So this is the ideal platform of preacher. So what we can do then? Actually, to be very honest, this is the standard. But it is Prabhupada who is very merciful. He has instructed everybody in the Krishna consciousness movement that you preach. And because it is Prabhupada's instruction, we are preaching. So sometimes one devotee went to Prabhupada and said, Prabhupada, what is preaching? He asked them, what do you mean by preaching? What is this preaching? So Prabhupada said, preaching means you hear 2 lines, go and repeat those 2 lines. That is preaching. So he made it so simple for us. And because on the instructions of Prabhupada, we are preaching. So there is no harm. But actually, if you see, who is the person who takes the Vyasasan? Who is the person who takes the high pedestal in order to deliver the sermons? It is Uttamadikari. Unless a person is Uttamadikari, one cannot preach. That's very clear. But we have been given this opportunity to become instruments of compassion by the mercy of Prabhupada. Yeah. Even if you see many other organizations, big organizations, unless you are totally into it, very, very qualified, spent years, there is no opportunity given to speak. You cannot represent the organization. You are only a volunteer. You keep serving. But Prabhupada's mood was, he wanted to make every devotee a preacher. Yes, all devotees should preach. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur had different standards for chanting. 64 rounds for general devotees. Those are pujari, those are doing pujari seva, etc., they can do 32. And those are preachers, they can do 16 rounds. That's what he said, because they can spend more time in giving classes and all that, studying scriptures and giving classes. So Prabhupada kept the standard 16. So some devotees say Prabhupada kept the standard of chanting 16 rounds because he wanted everyone to become preacher. All of you preach. That was his mood. Alright. Now we'll see Mahaprabhu's humility. Yesterday we saw Ramananda Rai's humility, of how he was calling himself as a Shudra Vishayi Rajasevi. That means I am a servant of a king. I am a sense gratifier and I am Shudra Adhama. I am the lowest of the Shudras. Now we see Mahaprabhu's humility. Mahaprabhu, it is because of you that their heart has melted. Now he's saying, no, it is Ramananda, your heart. It is not possible for their heart to melt because of me. Why? That is going to say. अन्यर की कथा अमी मायावादी सन्यासी अमी ह तुम्हारा स्पर्शे Krishna preme bhasi. Hari Hari. So he's saying, what can I say? Anyar ki katha. What to speak of others? Ami mayavadi sannyasi. I am actually not a devotee only, because I've taken sannyas in the Mayavad order. There is a reason why Mahaprabhu took sannyas in the Mayavad order. There would have been no Vaishnava who would agree to give Mahaprabhu sannyas, because Vaishnavas love the hair of the Supreme Lord. Yes, Supreme Lord had beautiful hair. Who would want, which Vaishnava would want Mahaprabhu's beautiful hair to be cut? So there would have been no Vaishnava to give sannyas to Mahaprabhu. And in those times, it was not very common for sannyasis to take the saffron. But Vaishnavas to become sannyasis. Vaishnavas would take Babaji initiation. But Mahaprabhu wanted to state. He made a certain example. And so after Mahaprabhu, again the next saffron was directly Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So he wanted to bring up the system of Varnashram. Very important. First, you be in the Varnashram. Because if you don't become, we don't follow the Varnashram system, then what is going to happen? Our movement will all become sentimental movement. And that's what happened after Mahaprabhu left. After Mahaprabhu wound up his pastimes, there were 13 upper sampradayas. Aula, Baula, Gauranga, Nagari, and many upper sampradayas which came up because of being sentimentalists. So in order to finish the sentimentalism, it's very important that we have Varnashram system. So even Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, then Prabhupada also introduces saffron order, Brahmachari, Grahastha, Varnashram, there should be Vanacharis and there should be Sannyasis. Very important. Divide the society into gradation and give duty to everyone. Even if you are pure devotee, Paramahamsa, still be in the Varnashram order. So Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur never took Babaji initiation. He remained at the platform of sannyasi to set an example. Right? That's very important. Otherwise, the whole society will become sentimentalist, all sajias. So he, at that point of time, Vaishnavas never took sannyas. And second thing is, at that particular point of time, Mayavadis were a popular sannyasi. If you take Mayavadi sannyas, you are respected. So Mahaprabhu wanted to use that position in order to preach Krishna consciousness. So these are various reasons. In fact, even in Katwa, when Mahaprabhu's hair was cut by that barber gave up his profession of being a barber. He started selling sweets because he couldn't bear it that I had to cut the hair of the Lord. Yeah. So he's saying, I'm Mayavadi sannyasi. This is again humility of Mahaprabhu. Ami Mayavadi, that means I'm not devotee also. Mayavadis are usually not devotees. Amiya tomara sparshi Krishna prema bhashi. But me, I tasted that oceanic love of Krishna. Yes, I am floating in the love of Krishna because of being touched by you. Because I touched you. Tomara sparshi. So all these people also, all these people who are with you, their heart has melted because of you. Because my heart also has melted. I am Mayavadi sannyasi. And usually Mayavadis are known for very hard heart. They study a lot of Vedantas, they speculate Shastras. It's a very dry phenomenon of speculating Shastras, twisting and turning out words, doing word jugglery. It's a very, very heart hardening. And they have a lot of austerities. Austerities usually, Shushka Vairagya. Dry austerities, they end up making the heart very hard. So that's why he's trying to justify and prove that, oh, my heart is very hard, but my heart softened and melted because of you. Your association. So their hearts are also melted because of you. So he's putting it that way. Again, he continues to, Mahaprabhu again shows what is Trinada Pishu nature. Ei jani kathina mura hridaya shodite sarvabhauma kahile na tomara milite. Mahaprabhu is telling Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya knew, Ei jani, he knew very well. He was very well knowing kathina mura hridaya shodite. It is very difficult to purify my heart. My heart is so hard and filled with so many anarthas, so much of offensive mentality. It's very hard. Hridaya shodite. In order to clean the heart, to rectify the heart, to transform my heart is very difficult. And that is why Sarabhoma kahilena tomara milite. That is why Sarabhoma Bhattacharya said, you really want to cleanse your heart? Go and meet Ramanand Rai. He is the person who will clean your heart. Wow. Sarabhoma. Amazing. He did that. Yes. So, here again he is giving credit to his devotee. That's the nature of Lord. So, he is telling my heart is impure. So, what is Mahaprabhu showing by his own example is the importance of Vaishnava Sangha, taking association of a Vaishnava. It's very, very important, no matter who you are. Even if you are a sannyasi, Brahman Varna, Sannyasa Ashrama. He was the topmost in the Varnashram. And who is Ramanand Rai? He is a Grihastha and he is a Shudra. So both in Varna and Ashram, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was superior. So looking beyond these externals of age, gender, of Varna, Ashram, these are all externals. It is very important that we take the principle to association of the Vaishnava very seriously. It's very important that we take association and we uplift ourselves. Uplifting ourselves is very, very important. Correct? And that is why if you see, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is so much telling the importance of, even if you're a great sannyasi, and Mahaprabhu was such a great preacher, who in fact you read the chapter before this, South India Yatra, those of you who have been through this in our journey, whoever would see him, he would touch, everybody who started becoming Krishna Premi and became preachers. They did not become Krishna Premis only, they became Krishna Premi preachers. And then they went to different parts of villages and kept delivering. So Mahaprabhu's mission. But even after this, it's very important for one to take association, even if you are on this platform. Let us see what is Mahaprabhu again emphasizing about association. Or Krishnadas Kaviraj. Ei mata duhe stuti kare duhar guna, duhe duhar darshana anandita mana. So what both of them were doing? In this way, Ei mata duhe stuti kare duhar guna. Both of them were very appreciative of each other's qualities. And both of duhe duhar darshane anandita mana. And each other's association, their mind were very pleased. I would like to show you something from Bhagavad. You will like it. You will like it very much. This is 10th canto, 12th chapter, 1st verse. This, have I put the right verse? Or it's 13, sorry. First of all, well, let's see Parikshit Maharaj, what he's saying. This is Parikshit Maharaj talking to Shukadev. Vayam dhanyatam aloke guropi shatra bandhava vayam pibamo muhustatva punyam krishna kathamritam. So he's saying Vayam dhanyatam aloke. I am the most fortunate. Dhanya is fortunate. Dhanyatara is more fortunate. Dhanyatama is the most fortunate. We matlab Parikshit. He's calling himself as well as all those who have assembled there. Vayam dhanyatam aloke. In this whole world, we are the most fortunate. Why? Because although I am a Shatra Bandhava, I am so-called Kshatriya, I am not even qualified to be Kshatriya. I am able to hear from my spiritual master. Vayam Pibamo Muhus. Continuously I am able to hear. See, Dhanya is a person having a spiritual master. Dhanyatara is the one who hears from spiritual master. And Dhanyatama is the one who is Muhuhu, constantly getting a chance to hear Punya Krishna Kathamritam, the pure message of Lord Krishna. That is Srimad Bhagavatam. He is continuously getting an opportunity to hear from his Guru. Guru api Punyam Krishna Kathamritam Muhus Pibama. Constantly is drinking the juice of Bhagavatam. So he is glorifying Shukadev, and he is oneself very humble. I am calling him Shatra Bandhava. And immediately what is Shukadev Goswami saying in the next chapter? He begins his chapter like this. Sadhu Prishtam Mahabhaga Tvaya Bhagavat Uttama. You are not Shatra Bandhava, you are Bhagavat Uttama. You have asked a very brilliant question, oh great fortunate. I agree. Dhanyatama, yes, you are Mahabhaga. You are also great for. You are great fortunate only. Because you are Bhagavat Uttama. Why? Yan Nutanasa Ishasya Shrinvannapi Kathamuhu. You have heard so much Krishna Katha even before. And even now 3.5 days have passed, almost 4 days have passed. But still, you are not tired. You are hearing this Katha as though you are hearing for the Nutanasa Ishasya. Ishasya Katha, Ishanu Katha, the pastimes of Krishna, Nutanasai. Nutanasai means very new. It's very new to you. And you are able to hear this constantly. That shows that you are Bhagavatot. It's a fresh matter. So like this, it is very wonderful when the listener and the speaker, the student and the teacher, they have mutual appreciation for each other. So that gives a lot of that mutual appreciation for each other itself is something that brings out a very great, subject matter. So we see this in Bhagavatam. We see even in Bhagavad Gita, where Krishna glorifies Arjuna also with different names. Savyasachi, Mahabahu, Dhananjaya, yes, Parantapaha. So he is continuously glorifying Arjuna. And similarly, Lord Krishna also is glorified by Arjuna. Param Brahma, Param Dhama, Pavitram, Paramam Bhavan, Purusham, Shashwatam, Divyam, Adidevam, Majam Vibhum. So he is continuously. So both of them have that mutual appreciation. Now, in the subject matter of Srimad Bhagavatam or the discussions, this is very important. This is very important that there is a mutual appreciation with Krishna in connection. And such kind of mutual appreciation with Krishna in center is something that brings very beautiful juice to the entire Sangha. Right. Going on. And pleased to see each other. Yes. This is very important. Right. Devotees should be pleased to see each other. That's why I keep telling, "Arey video dikhao." Turn on video. What is the purpose of asking to turn on video? So that devotees are happy. Either are you happy to see me or not? I want some confirmation. Or else you are All of you in your own world. We don't know that, right? So that's why it's very important that we have this wonderful appreciation. Ananditaman. I personally am very happy to see all of you. If you are happy or not, that who will tell? You guys have to tell, right? So practically, we're showing video. There's a smile. Then I understand. Okay, you are also happy. Very nice. Okay, Ananditaman. Because that is when discussion. This is all preparation. Class is not started yet. There's going to be beautiful discussion. Ramananda Samvat, Ramanand Rai and Mahaprabhu Samvat. So they're going to have very nice class. So before class, this is all preparation. Very important. Next. So in between, there's a lunch break. Prasad break. So now what's happening? Just see. Hena kale vaidika eka Vaishnava Brahmana dandavata kari kaila Prabhu nimantrana. If you see, Mahaprabhu kept this standard wherever he went. He went to Vrindavan, to the home of Sanodia Brahman. He was in Varanasi, in Benares. Although he stayed in the house of Chandrasekhar Acharya, who was a Kayastha, but he would take prasad only from Tapan Mishra, who was a Brahmana. So Mahaprabhu ensured this, that he would take, being a sannyasi, he would take alms only from Brahmanas. That's the social order. He kept that. So here suddenly Mahaprabhu, somebody or the other, some Brahmana will come and invite a sannyasi. Right? Henakale Vaidika Eka Vaishnava Brahman. He's a Vaishnava Brahman, not a Vaishnava Brahman. See, he's Vaishnava. Mahaprabhu also couldn't make out. How do you understand? You understand by tilak, kanti. That's the way one is offering respect, speaking. Like Mahaprabhu would understand Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya is not a Vaishnava Brahman. Why? Because as soon as he came, Namo Narayanaya. He is Mayavadi Brahman. And Mahaprabhu told him, Krishna Matirastu. May you get Krishna. And then Sarvabhauma thinks, hey, this fellow is looking like Mayavadi, but he's saying Krishna Matirastu. Oh, that means he's Vaishnava. I will give him again saffron. I'll again reinitiate him. Now he's what sannyasi? He basically is having the name Sri Krishna Chaitanya. He's taken a brahmachari name. Yes, Sri Krishna Chaitanya is assistant to a sannyasi. That's the name. You're either assistant of some Saraswat Brahman or some assistant of some Saraswat Sannyasi, Bharti Sannyasi. Their assistant's name is Sri Krishna Chaitanya, some Chaitanya like that. क्या ये कम लेवल का है मैं उसको सारस्वत सन्यासी बनाऊंगा Saraswati Parampara. We'll get him reinitiated. Again, I'll give him danda, new saffron. ऐसे करके. So he wanted upliftment somehow, according to his knowledge. Whatever he thought of as upliftment, he wanted that for Gaurang Mahaprabhu. He had a good intention, but he didn't know how to do it. So that time, the Brahmana has invited him for lunch. And Mahaprabhu, let us see. He understood. Mahaprabhu, yeah, he will accept the lunch invitation. Why, you will see. निमंत्रण मानिला तारे वैष्णव जानिया रामानंद कहे प्रभु ईशत हसिया. So he accepted the invitation because he know that he is a Vaishnava. That is why the lunch was accepted. So even Krishna says this, right? Patram pushpam phalam toyam yomi bhaktya prayachyati tadaham bhakti upakritam ashnami priyatatmana. So who is having the substance of bhakti, I accept even a leaf offered with love, leaf, fruit, flower and water. Offered with love, I accept because they have that bhakti. So when you have bhakti, Krishna accepts. This is a proof. He was a Vaishnava, that's why Krishna accepted. And Ramananda Rai smilingly said something. Okay, so now purport is also there, so we'll see the purport. So Prabhupada is saying here, strictly if somebody is a Vedic Brahman, following all rules and regulations of Brahmanical culture, but if he is not a devotee, a follower of Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, one should not accept his invitation. Yeah. Even if somebody is a Vedic Brahman but not a devotee, Vaishnava should not accept their prasad invitation. No. Yes. So Prabhupada is telling in this age people are so degraded. Vishayranna Kaila Malina Hayaman. People are so degraded, they don't follow anything. What to speak of Vaishnava principles? They don't even follow Vedic principles. Yes. People are not even following Vedas properly. What is this? So these people eat anything and everything. Sab kuch khate hai. The Krishna conscious and as devotees in Krishna consciousness movement should be very careful. You should not just go to anyone's house and eat. Very important. Yeah. Very, very cautious in accepting invitations. That's what happened once. Prabhupada was going, Prabhupada had gone to one program. In that program, then when they came, Prabhupada and all devotees were sitting, so they came and served sambar. And Prabhupada saw in this onion is there. And those people were very rich, very, very influential people who were going to push the movement ahead. So disciples of Prabhupada said, Prabhupada, these people are having onions and garlics. We'll tell them we don't eat. Prabhupada said, keep your mouth shut and eat now. ये सब पहले पूछना चाहिए था. You should have first found out and then asked them. Now don't create drama here. चुपचाप खाओ. Eat the karma. Yes, so we have to be very careful. Prabhupada writing all these things because the devotees did not check before. They just went, TK will come for prasad. So Prabhupada sometimes would have to accept. Of course, if somebody is serving Prabhupada, they're going to make. Can you imagine cooking for Srila Prabhupada? And Prabhupada is having your food at your house in your plates. That person's back to God a ticket is guaranteed. Krishna is going to give back to God at Pakka. You have pleased my pure devotee. That is Prabhupada. But for all of us, no. See, great souls like Prabhupada have that capacity. I just wanted to say a story from the Shastra. There were two demons. One's name was Vatapi, one's name was Idalava. So both these demons had one goal. What was their goal? Their goal was actually to kill all the sadhus and devotees. So what Ilalava would do, Ilalava was a very good cook. And he knew Brahmana Brojana Priyam. Brahmanas love to eat. So he used to cook very tasty food and Vatapi used to enter. Vatapi is having the property of Vat, air. So he would go into air and enter the food. And after the Brahmanas have eaten, they eat the prasad. Immediately Ilalava would say, Vatapi, come out. And Vatapi would burst in from their bodies and come out and all the sages would die. Like that they would go. So one day they decided who's the most powerful sage. Google out who's the powerful sage. So that time the Google said the most powerful sage is Agastya. So let's kill that person. So they both go to Agastya and they feed him. Very nice. So Ilalava makes a very nice item recipe and feeds Agastya. Agastya eats, but he burps. He says, Vatapi, come out! Nobody's coming out. Vatapi, come out! No movement. Vatapi, I said, come out! Agastya says, I have digested it. Hare Krishna. Says, I digested that fellow. I digested my food and I digested that demon also. Now nobody will come out. So this is the power of great sages. So Prabhupada had that ability to digest. We may not have that ability. So we have to be careful. So now Mahaprabhu making a request for Katha, class. They're going to plan for that class, that discussion. Tomara mukhe Krishna Katha shunite haya mana punarapi payena tomara darshana. Mahaprabhu saying, I would love to meet you again. And when I meet you again, from your lotus mouth, I would like to hear Krishna Katha. Now we need to understand who is Mahaprabhu, is Krishna. And who is Ramanand Rai? Actually is Arjuna. On the battlefield of Kurukshetra, Krishna spoke to Arjuna. Arjuna was asking question and Krishna was answering. But now on the banks of Godavari and Rajmundry, it is Krishna in the form of Gaurang Mahaprabhu who is going to ask questions. And Ramanand Rai, who is actually Arjuna, is going to answer those questions. Amazing, right? How roles can be reversed. Reversing the roles. Teacher becomes student, student becomes teacher. Yeah, that's possible. Everything is possible. So I guess. Let us see what Ramanand Rai is. So this is, I chose a few words. Class should be centered around Krishna. The main subject matter. That is good class. Sometimes it happens that when we speak some classes, we might quote a little bit more of things happening in the outside world. We might quote a little more of news, sports, some examples, and the audience don't become Krishna conscious. They become more of information conscious. It can happen. But the whole goal behind the Bhagavatam class is how devotees should have a better fixity of mind on Krishna. Yes, they should become more Krishna conscious, Gaurang Mahaprabhu conscious, Prabhupada conscious. Their respect, reverence, admiration, appreciation for Krishna, Prabhupada, Gaurang Mahaprabhu should increase. Yes, for chanting, for Nama. it should develop. Then that is a good class. So subject matter is very clear. It's Krishna Katha. We are not meeting for nonsense Katha. And number two, my mind is inclined. Wow. So we should always check, is our mind inclined towards Katha? Yes, this is the secret of good japa. If we are eager to hear about Krishna, only when we are eager to hear about Krishna will we develop the eagerness to chant about Krishna. So they are connected. A person not having eagerness to hear Bhagavatam will not have eagerness to chant. How to develop this eagerness? Just come. That's all. It will come. Just come and listen. Start. Start somewhere. Start listening to the classes. And you will develop this eagerness. Inclination of mind. Ramananda's reply. राय कहे ऐला यदि पामर शोधिते दर्शन मात्र शुद्ध नाही मोरा दुष्ट चित्ते ढीना पांच सात रही करह मार्जन तबे शुद्ध है मोरा एई दुष्ट मन. So Ramanand Rai, what he's telling to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he's telling Mahaprabhu, Rai kahe, Aila yadi pamara shodite. Why have you come here, Aila? You have come, yadi pamara shodite, in order to deliver this fallen soul, me, Pamar, I am Pamar Jeev. To purify me, you have come. Yes. And he's saying, Darshana matra shuddhanai mora dushta chitta. I am such a dushta. Your darshan should have purified me immediately, but I am such a dushta that your darshan has not yet purified me. So he's here telling his disqualification. So why he's telling like this? Because he wants more association. He wants more association. That eagerness. The reason of telling like this is not because Re Bhagwan bhi mere ko shuddha nahi kar sakta. No, that's not the reason. The reason is he wants more. So that's why he says that Dina Pancha Sata, at 5-7 days, please stay here. And Karaha Marjana, please clean my heart. Tabe Shuddha Hoya Mora Ei Dushta Mana. That time my Dushta Mana, my polluted mind will completely get cleansed. Please do this. I need more association. Actually, this is the consciousness by which we can get more advancement. Eagerness for more. Ye dil mange more. That should be the consciousness of everyone. Ye dil mange more. We want more class. We want more association. We want more chanting. We want more reading. We want more kirtan. More, 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 more. And this more will really purify us. Next. This is the mood. Devotee couldn't tolerate separate. Devotees should not tolerate separation from each other. यद्यपि विच्छेद दोहार सहन न आए, तथापि दंडवत करी चलीला राम राय. Sir, Ramanand Rai was not feeling like leaving Mahaprabhu and going. I don't want to go. नहीं जाना है मेरे को. But what to do? He was very helpless. He had to depart for his duties, other things. But he didn't want to go. This should be the consciousness of all of us also. We have, as brahmacharis, we have some services after this. As grahasthas, you will have definitely some kind of, office work to go. We really don't want to go, but we have to go. So that is how we should depart from the Bhagavatam class. Really, don't feel like ending the class, but we have to end. So the mind is always thinking, when is the next class where we can come again? That's the beauty of the consciousness. So it's not that we don't do our duties, we do our duties. But at the same time that we should carry that Sangha in the mind and aspire. Just like when we go to our spiritual master's yatra, yatras nowadays have shortened a lot. So it's hardly for something like 4-5 days, 5-6 days, that's it. 5-6 days is the yatra. So we take all those memories and then eagerly wait, when is the next year's yatra going to come? Where is it going to be? We don't want this experience to ever end. We want this to be unending experience. That's the mood we have. So in that mood, so eagerness for association. प्रभु यई से विप्र घरे भिक्षा कैला दुई जनार उत्कंठाय आसी संध्या हैला. So Prabhu went, he had to accept the lunch invitation. So just 1 minute. So he accepted the lunch invitation at the house of the Brahmana. Yes, Vipra Gare, Bhiksha Kaila. Dui Janara Utkanthaya Asi Sandhya Haila. And then both of them, Ramanand Rai and Mahaprabhu, were waiting for Sandhya. When is evening class? That's a question I got even in DM. Prabhu, wonderful class. I have to go for my duties now. But when is the class in the evening? Yes, correct. So similarly, both of them were just waiting for that Sandhya evening to come, when it is going to come. So they were impatiently waiting when that time is going to come, where we are going to get this opportunity to meet each other and talk to each other. They're waiting for that time. Now, this is a very, very important principle of the class, which Mahaprabhu is going to show by his own example. And that principle is Hare Krishna. प्रभु स्नान कृत्य करी आछे न वसिया एक भृत्य संगेराय मिलिते आसिया. So here Prabhu Snana Kari Kari Achena Vasya. He came first and waited for Ramananda. He is Supreme Lord. But he is coming and waiting, which is showing to all of us the listener should come before the speaker for the class. Hare Krishna. Usually what happens here, speaker comes, अरे कोई नहीं आया, ठीक है क्या करेंगे, थोड़ा 5 मिनट वेट करते हैं. And then they put message in all the admins are putting messages. Please come. The speaker is already here. Please come. Sometimes they send screenshot. Participants, only 3 participants are there. Please. And one is the speaker. One is me. And one is some other devotee who switched off video and gone somewhere. So all devotees, please come for the class. There have to be repeated reminders. But what is Mahaprabhu's standard? Mahaprabhu, Sanya, he took bath. See how ready. He did his Sandhya, all duties, taking bath fresh. Achena was here. He came and sat for the class. He's eagerly waiting. And Eka Bhritya Sange Tava Rai Mili Asiya. Then that time, Ramananda Rai came with one of his Brahmanas. He came there to that Sangha. There's some purport by Prabhupada. A sannyasi must bathe 3 times a day, morning, noon and evening. Hare Krishna. So at least we can try, we are all not sannyasis, Prabhu. We can at least try to bathe 2 times, at least 2 times. Kam se kam, more than once. It makes one fresh. The cleanliness is very important. When one is engaged in the service of the deity, he must follow the principles of Padma Puran to take regular baths. Yes. One has to bathe and then go. We hear this particular thing even in when Madhavendra Puri, for Madhavendra Puri, the pot of Amrit Kili was stolen by Gopinath. So the Pujari is sleeping. Gopinath comes in his dream and says, come on, there is one pot which is there hiding there, come and take. He does not immediately go in the altar. What does he do? He first takes a bath. We heard that, right? First takes bath, purifies, then enters the altar. He follows the rules. Wonderfully. Yeah. After bathing, decorate body with 12 parts of tilaks. And then go. Hare Krishna. Last verse for today's discussion. So this particular katha is very confidential topics. So these confidential topics about Krishna cannot be a public discussion. So this is very important for us to know. In public, we should discuss basic philosophy. Tell people what is body, soul. In public Sunday feast class, where there are newcomers, we cannot say, today we are going to discuss Ras Leela. We can't do that. That is something we cannot do. It is very important that we, in public, speak about the general truths. And very deep discussions, yes, now there's devotees who have evolved very nicely. Okay, fine. Now you can all come for Bhagavatam class. Let's discuss from first canto, second canto, systematically. And then finally there is Bhakti. After Bhakti Vaibhav is over, then Bhakti Vedant. There we have deep discussions on the 10th canto, Bhagavatam, Krishna Leela. We discuss all these things. So very important. So they are going to discuss some very confidential Leela, but somehow it is published here. So we also become part of it. नमस्कार कैला राय प्रभु कैला लिंगने दुईजने कृष्ण कथा कय रहस्ताने. So Ramanand Rai offered his obeisances. Mahaprabhu embraced Ramanand Rai, and both of them, they wanted to begin Krishna Katha in a secluded place. Now Prabhupada explains this. Secluded place is very significant. Especially if we are talking about Krishna and his pastimes, especially his pastimes in Vrindavan, and there also especially his dealings with the gopis. They are not subject matter for public discussion. Why? Because not everybody have the intelligence to understand Krishna's pastimes, and they will always commit offense. They'll misunderstand. And what is the greatest offense? To think Krishna is an ordinary human being like them, having lust. And gopis are ordinary girls, like how we are having to in today's society. They're ordinary society girls, Krishna is ordinary society boy, and they both are having the lustful dealings, just like they show in the movies, just like they show in the TV serials, web series. Like that they're having. So this is a greatest offense. And this is how people are going to think, because they don't know the greatness of Krishna yet. So first greatness, then sweetness. So Prabhupada is again telling, in the Krishna consciousness movement, we are not enjoined to discuss the pastimes of Lord Krishna in Vrindavan in public. No. For general people, what is effective? Sankirtan. So Sankirtan for the masses and philosophy, deep philosophy for the classes. And the confidential pastimes for very few rasikas. So Mahaprabhu followed this principle very strictly. So whenever he discusses Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, Prakashanand Saraswati, it was a very secluded meeting, closed meeting. It was not public gathering. This was always followed. For general public, we should do Sankirtan, very vigorous Sankirtan. So these principles of Krishna consciousness should be followed all over the world. For general masses, Sankirtan. Very important. ठीक है. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Alright, I do not have time for question and answers today. However, we can keep your questions alive and ask me in the evening time. Okay. Thank you all very much. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai, Shri Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Pad ki jai. Hari Bol. Thank you.